Oop, fuck off. And that's why people hate my ass, because I will fucking name drop like that. And some people, they're very vague and they're like, oh, I have this. No, bitch, you suck, and you suck. AJ, you better do your magic and disappear this shit if we're leaving. AJ, come back in private this shit. Yeah. Well, that's why I'm like, she should probably yeet this before she goes to bed, you know? I wouldn't even be offended. Yeet us in mid-talk. So, I mean, and that's why when little fuckers like that are going to say something to judge my ass, I'm like, no, goodbye. You never did. You did that, and you're going to judge what I've done out here? No. Yo mama and I didn't have a problem. He started saying some shit about me just because everyone else did. And that's when I'm like, okay, that tells me everything I need to know about you, because we had no problems. Nothing. And it's like, okay, you're one of those people, because we didn't have to have a problem. But he's a bandwagoner. He is flip-flop, whatever. But, you know, I get he puts on a show. Not all the streamers are good at that. And he does this charisma. So I get why he has a following. I get why people watch him and stuff. But it's like, just, and this isn't even to say, oh, he doesn't deserve a following. I'm just saying, because of who he is, he wasn't put under that same amount of microscope. Yes, some people have judged some things that he's done, but it goes away fast. And if you're a female, you're going to get called, you know, just for like making moves. Like, I've seen guys do very controversial interviews. They're never going to get heat for it. Every controversial interview, that's what interviews are. You're not going to interview somebody that's playing it safe. Otherwise, why interview them? There's no need. No one's going to care about what they're saying, right? So it's like, for some reason, and I don't like playing the woman card because I'm not really that type of person, but I have seen, I just see it. But the problem is, a lot of the women out here,
I do understand what you're saying.
Then you get women out here that'll play the women card to be a hoe, like what happened with GP. And that shit is not cool. But they pulled it off. They got away with it. And now a lot of those channels are at 1,000 now. They weren't even close before that. Death's channel, you know, Death and LB and I can't with that hoe. I didn't even know I had this screenshot, right? I was going through my freaking computer and I literally had a screenshot. Probably one of y'all send me and I didn't even look at it. Or not really look at it. Anyways, it was LB agreeing with April about April was like, YTR's parents are cousins.
What?
First of all,
yeah,
that is a new level of twisted and demented. And that's actually hilarious because I'm just like,
wow.
I'm just like, wow, how the fuck do you have to come up with something like that? She's actually insane. Like, she's a nut. Like, my parents aren't even from the same state. Like, their last names are completely different. Like, yeah, they're cousins. Fuck you, bitch. I mean, luckily she didn't know that far into my family, but still, like, I'm like, what? That's literally like nothing. That's random. And she did it too. This is what I mean by when I say people dehumanize me, because when you say shit like that, even if people think it's a funny joke, it's still like, so people still are going to believe it. I see shit like that and I'm like, there's no way people believe it. And they do. They actually do, because they want
the whole damn bodega is like, oh yeah, she's inbred. Like, what the fuck?
That's random. There's no truth in that. No,
like,
there's
where's
no
the proof? Yeah,
oh,
like,
no. There's none, Jack.
I know. It's fucking stupid.
My parents aren't even the same nationality, dude. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, they're cousins. Okay, whatever.
Yep. I know. Girl, trust me, I completely understand, because it's like other things I'm like, okay.
And April's a psycho. People have heard her on panels and said she's a psycho, and yet they still listened in a way. It's so weird. I don't understand it.
It's Sandy that's out there, though.
Huh?
It's Sandy.
They hate you for some reason. I don't know.
I don't know what I seriously have been thinking, like, okay, what did I do? What did I really do? Right. Even the stuff I've said that was edgy is not any more edgy than anybody else. Everybody has said some shit out here.
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
And they literally twist everything. Like, yeah, your BDSM joke, even though they can't even say what it was, because they always have to say
wrong with your BDSM joke.
They tried to say it was racial. I never said anything racial in anything I said. In fact, stupid cunt Bridget, I held back because she's black. I would be way meaner if she was white. And that's fucked up. actually, because that's wrong. I should be exactly equal in that
Which
moment.
is exactly what I said. I said, why would you hold back because of somebody?
Well,
Like
in that moment, I didn't, but
That's exactly
overall,
what I
my
said.
feud with her, I was holding back because I knew she was going to play the racial card, even when I didn't say anything, and she did, and she fucking did. And it's like, dude, look at my history. My creators that I've been loyal to have been Black. Monty, fucking EP. There's creators I watch that aren't even attached to any of this that I'm not going to name because I don't, Orko TV. He's one of my
right.
he's I've known him for a long time. We've been cool for a long time. We just don't share platform or audience because he likes to do his thing and all that, and he doesn't want to be in controversy, and I get that. But we've always been cool.
Right.
He just does his fun videos and dips out. He's not into all the bullshit. But that's partly why I like him though. But anyway, all three of those people, Black, not to mention other people that I've just associated with over the years, and then other people that I watch that are outside of all this. And it's like, dude, I've literally, like, that's just bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Whatever. And yeah, people are like, I hate when people say they have friends that are Black. Well, guess what? I live in the fucking South, and if someone is racist, they're not going to have friends that are Black. So people can say they hate that term and it's not real, but it is true. And people that say that live in areas where they don't really see it the same way. Like, they're looking for microaggressions. If you live somewhere where if shit's fucked, it's fucked, you can see it for what it is. But I actually like that about here because for the most part, it isn't around. And when it is, people know to avoid it. People know what it looks like. You don't have people making up as much as fantasy shit. Like, they know what real racism is, so they're not looking for it in everybody. It's so funny because it's like, it's actually not as bad here as some other places because people aren't obsessed. They've already dealt with that shit. They had to stare at that shit, learning about all that bullshit growing up. So they've actually had to internalize and move on. Whereas other people don't even learn about it in school and they just pretend it never happened. So anyway, but it's like, okay, tell me about myself. It's actually retarded. Like, I have people from other countries in my family. My family's mixed. Like, my extended family is like, we got multi countries going on. We got multi races going on. We got a lot going on. No problems. But the internet is fucking retarded.
And it really is. Like, especially this part of it is way too like involved. Like,
and the viewers are too. I mean, not saying you, Jack, but there's nothing wrong with being like talking to creators or anything. So don't take this the wrong way. But there's viewers that do it for malicious reasons, and they like it becomes just a mob in the chat, with some places, and it's just creepy to watch.
Yeah, I've been on Twitch too. Like, sometimes I can get bad there. It's different though. It's more spamming on Twitch. Like,
oh really?
They have like bots and shit. It's weird, but there's a lot more like technological. Like, you have to have the right kind of like bots like to fight them and stuff.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it like sounds crazy. Like, you have to have like the right programs and stuff to.
That would suck.
Yeah, it's insane, but.
Yeah. I'm just mad because like I had like different communities try and find my ass, and it just took these motherfuckers. I had people in RSN's camp a couple years ago trying to dox me. I had people in Girl World trying to dox me. They didn't do it. They couldn't. And all it took was these motherfuckers.
Why do you think that was though?
Because of RSN. I mean, he was like telling them to go after me because I said, fuck this dude.
Yeah, but do you realize that they're like trying to make nice with him so to get information from you?
Of course I know this.
So then, because that's exactly what they did with Bridget.
They'll continue to do it. He's the last one though. I mean, there isn't really anyone else that would have anything. Well, he doesn't have anything, but he wouldn't show the DMs. I don't have a copy of the DMs because I actually deleted all my DMs with him right before I blocked him. I physically deleted my side of everything, and then I blocked his ass. So, I mean, how is he going to have that unless he's doing it the whole time? But even if he does, it'll show him asking me out and show me saying no. Why do you think he hasn't dropped DMs after all these we've had arguments over the years?
They always like drop. It's like,
I'm like, drop him, bitch. I don't even care.
Yeah, exactly. Drop him.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. All it'll show is that he's a fucking creep. My audience doesn't give a damn. They're like, yeah, that dude's weird. They already know. They're like, fuck that dude. He used to try and come into my chat. That bitch learned. He learned, I'm gonna hurt your fifis and you're not gonna come
That's
back.
hilarious.
I'm like, you fucking raped Amber, you cunt. I know what you did.
Oh
Okay.
gosh. So
Then he
fucked
tried.
up.
Then he fucking tried. I'm like, yeah, I will bring it up every time. Get out of here.
No,
Bye.
that really is completely messed
Yeah,
up.
I saw the videos. I saw everything.
Yep.
He's like, she recanted. Bitch, you were her ticket home, you piece of shit. I mean,
Yeah, like what are you gonna do?
God.
like I would have never been friends with you if I knew about this
Fuck
shit.
that.
Fuck off.
Or
And
like
I say
really
friend
bad
lightly. We weren't even
things.
really friends, but we DM'd and shit. And RSN was like, he always just wanted to talk about himself and his problems in YouTube. And then he wanted to be all sexual. It's like, dude,
So
fuck
he's
off.
like a
I can't
negs.
stand you. Yeah, basically. A next junior. Was this stream okay? Like, fuck you. First of all, you're a pussy. Secondly, like, just go fuck yourself. You're annoying. Well, I was just like, I remember one time I would test him in little ways to see if he
Wow.
could be a human. Just like little things. Like I wouldn't say open up because I had my guard, but I would say things to see if he would act like a human, and he always failed every time. So I'm like, you don't know how to be friends with someone, dude. And I called him out on it. I was like, I told you I was going through a rough time. I'm not into dating right now. I'm focusing on myself. I've been, dealing with some, depression shit. And I said, I thought you'd understand because you and like your shit you go through. But no, you literally, I was like, you can't even be a friend. You don't even know how to be a friend to anybody. I was like,
Yeah, exactly.
that's why this dude
Not
is
even
never
right.
gonna
Yeah.
drop this shit. Because I'm literally telling this dude, like, you suck. Like, you as a person suck. Like, what? Because I wasn't something sexual to you, so then I had no value, right? So then it didn't matter. Oh, but then you're gonna hit me up to ask about YouTube shit and try and get ideas from me, basically steal shit from me. But you're trying to do it in a way to pretend like we're friends.
Wow.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck off. And that's why people hate my ass, because I will fucking name drop like that. And some people, they're very vague and they're like, well, I have this. No, bitch, you suck, and you suck. You can fuck yourselves. Because a lot of they especially the Jack, now I'm curious too, because during the whole thing with remember all that bullshit drama started happening with those girls in Monty's, not the dating ones, but the other ones where it was the Vanessa girl. Fuck, what was the other bitch? Anyways, there's three of them.
Yeah, where they all went
So-
on panel with him with the
So
OnlyFans.
I had backed them up, not being like, oh, everything they say is right, but I'd been cool with them. And so I was like, look, I'm not bandwagoning, like I don't have problems with them. And then it came turn for them to return the favor to me. And of course, they didn't do it. They couldn't even just be like, no, we're not going to jump on this. We're cool. Or just like, even just passively be like, no. Oh, no, they couldn't do that. They literally could not do that. And it's like, I don't expect too much out of people. And every time it's like bullshit. Like Sandy and April, dude, they were with me since I was like at 100, 200 subs. They supported me through so much shit. And then this was the straw that broke their back. I'm like so lost about that. Like literally it was all a lie then, because there's no freaking way. It doesn't make sense. I'm just completely like, all right, whatever.
What it seems like to me with them is like they like would talk shit about you like together, and then like whenever I don't know exactly what happened. They said you unmodded them or whatever, and then they.
Oh, I can definitely tell when they started talking shit about me together. I can definitely tell because I started having those mod issues with them. When I can tell, like when they started to change, and Sandy and I used to be closer than Sandy and April went in and she weaseled her way to get Sandy to be closer to her, and she tried to do it with Maya and it didn't work with Maya. And that's partly why it broke my heart with the whole thing with Maya, because he had passed the fucking test. He passed a lot of tests. I mean, there's a lot of shit that people bullshit controversies. He was still had my back. I had his. And the whole thing with the attic, it breaks my heart. Like I'm just so mad because like he doesn't belong there either. I know he doesn't. I talked to him, like I was closest to Maya more than the girls even, and I think they resented him a bit because of that too. So they were already jealous and whatever the fuck. So
man,
they're opportunists. They're fucked up. I don't know. They're social climbers, But it's like there was a time when we were all fine, and I don't know, really.
I don't understand why they went to Bridget either.
I do, because they knew Bridget would do what they wanted.
Yeah, but
They
then
knew she would be a loudmouth to just get the word out and pass it along. They wanted a megaphone, and that's what Bridget was.
That's true.
And the girls, like I never gave them pressure in modding. I do not need help with mods. You saw how fast I am. I have mods in case like for like a raid situation. Like I'm very quick if there's a troll or something like that. And I have it on subs only. So usually I don't get raids anymore because if you put it on subs only, they can't just make new accounts if you put it at like 20 minutes or more. They're not going to be able to brigade like that. So
Yeah.
that's why I always have it on sub only. Besides, I'm like, no, if you want to talk, you got to be a sub, bitch. I'm not playing anymore. So anyways.
Yeah, you're fast. Like,
yeah. So
you're fucking fast.
I had to be. I had to learn to be fast because before, when I had issues, I didn't even have all the abilities that you get when you get monetized. Like before, I got raided before I was even monetized, so I had to do all this shit. I couldn't put it on subs only. I couldn't. Like it was crazy. It was crazy. And Sandy and April did help me through that. They were great mods for that time, and it's like, but they chose to do that and they wanted to do that, and it's like they were always like, "Oh, we want to grow your channel," and they would always like act like they cared about my anonymity and all this stuff, and then they were the fucking ones. They always talk shit about the bodega and the attic, and they were even mad that I was being chill with them there. And I was like, look, I got to figure out a way to kind of not be a part of it but also be chill. And I was like, they're not a part of us. I was like, they're not going to stick around. I was like, they're just going to see it's not as entertaining and they'll move on. Because I didn't even know the level of insane that these people are, that there's literally no reason and they'll do shit. But I'd seen types like them before, because I've been doing this for a while, and I've seen types that are about the drama, whatever, they'll come in, but they fade out. They don't stay because we just goof around. And so that's what I was going to do. So that's why when they sit there and they're like, yeah, she's clout chasing. No, I wanted it to fade out. That was my plan with them. And then the girls, I don't know, it's just weird. Like they started acting like just bitchy toward me, and we had some disagreements, and I didn't want to keep them as mods because they were starting to be shit stirrers. Like, why am I gonna have mods that are shit stirrers when I don't even want viewers that do this shit? You know what I mean? Like at first I saw them starting shit in other spots. Like they went to Monty's and were starting shit in Monty's. I was like, dude, why the fuck would you do that? I don't want Monty to think I have anything to do with that, because I just still back away from Monty because I'm not burning that bridge. You never know with YouTube. I won't associate with him with what's going on right now, but if he saw the light and all that or whatever, I wouldn't be opposed to just being cordial. I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't DM with him again, but I would be on a level of chill. So anyways, I'm like, why? And they know this. Why the fuck? I was like, dude, the only reason why I was annoyed at Monty was because of him indulging that bitch, and then you guys are mad at Monty, but then you're cool with that bitch. That was the problem. Like, what? And you expect me to be fine with all this? Like, they were crazy, man. I was like, you guys can go with what you it wasn't me saying you can't go places, but I'm not having mods that are shit stirrers everywhere, and then people are gonna think I'm behind it. Because they would brag about being mods for me. They want to pretend like, they were manipulated. Hell no. Those bitches were like, oh yeah, we're actually friends with her and all this shit. And so I didn't want anything they were doing elsewhere to fall back on me, which it was causing problems for me. And it was like, it was such a nightmare. And I knew after that shit and all this other stuff that's happening, I was like, as soon as I unmod them, it's going to get bad. And I knew it. And they're like, oh, you hold the wrench against us. What are you talking about? Like, what the fuck?
Like, what does that even mean?
Like, I'm not that type of person. There are creators that might do that, but that's going to manifest in a lot of ways. Like, I was like, hey, if you need a break, let me know. Or I said, I don't expect you to be in every live. It's cool. I made it known that I was like, obviously this is not a job, It's like,
you don't even really need a mod if there's not like a spam problem. I can tell.
No, it's like I just have them there so people see that they're there, but it's like,
I understand that. So that's what Monty does too. Like,
yeah, but at the same time, it's like I don't like having a lot of mods because it's like it can go bad. It always goes wrong.
Especially if they have too much power and then they get pissed off. Like what happened with the fucking AJ AK tried to be a mod there, and
Yes.
tragic, and that could have been real bad for AJ.
They're very fortunate that they never modded me, and they knew not to mod me because, girl, I would have fucked their shit up so fast. If they would have left me modded for a day, I would have blocked everyone in their chat. I would have fucked that shit up.
Would have walled it off.
But I knew not to mod them, and they knew not to mod me, and then they want to sit here and act like, oh, we could have. No, girl, we knew we weren't fucking with each other like that. Stop. They try and act like I betrayed them or some shit. Like we weren't even friends, bitch. I can't with that. It's like just the main character syndrome out here is really a lot. But I don't know. I wish Monty wasn't fucked up because there's things about Monty I like. I could talk to Monty about intellectual stuff. Like I could tell he liked having me on because we would talk about we'd talk about foodie or whatever, but I would always talk about some psychology shit, and he actually knew what I was talking about. And then the dumb bitches on panel would pretend like they knew, but they didn't. And then they would take my talking points and use them all wrong. That was annoying. That happened a lot. And that's why when they fucked me over, I was like, wow, you guys fucking used my talking points all the time, and now you want to say I'm too much? Okay. What did you say, Jack? Sorry.
That's fine. I was just saying that there's a lot of people on panels for a little while, and
there were too many for a while. He needed to have like a cap, like, you know.
It was. I mean, I think he learned from it because then, well, kind of. But he doesn't have those huge panels anymore. But
yeah.
I think he handled the Kaya deal pretty well. Like I told him that too. I was like,
I don't really know how he did it. What did he say?
He didn't really say much, but
yeah, it's probably better.
Yeah, he was kind of standoffish, but I don't blame him. Yeah. Like he let other people interview her, and then he said his piece, and he didn't like grill her, but he asked the right questions. I think he did good. But
for me with the Kaya thing, it's like a lot of people are pretending to care about that, and then like Jam literally had her kids twerking on camera, and none of them cared in a room full of adults. So I'm like, y'all are fucking dumb. I don't care. Like I care about the Kaya thing, but I'm consistent. Like, and really, I wasn't going to start a fight with her over it. Like, she obviously, my biggest issue with that situation is how their attitude was. Because if he would have came on there and if he meant it, like if he is sincere, like being like, yeah, it was fucked up, I shouldn't have done it, blah, 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 blah. Also, people can say whatever. So, obviously it depends, like, if he meant, like, if he seemed to mean it or not. Obviously, it's not online. You can't really know for sure. But he didn't even try to do that. Like, it's like, wow, how fucking... like, wow, that's crazy. Like, you can't even socially act right. Yeah. That means you are really far gone, dude. That means you were like...
He grew up in that shit, like you can tell. Like,
yeah, and also he was older when he did it. Like, for me, that mattered a lot because he was like 30 doing this. I'm like, oh my God, you weren't even like young doing this.
Yeah, that's bad.
But they came out here and they're like, yeah, he's like, there are no victims. Like, bitch, really? You're going to say that right now?
I was like, oh.
Because I've known tattooers and shit, and I've known some ex-con people. No one that's done that. But anyways, like, so I've talked to ones that are like, I don't regret it. I've talked to ones that say they do, right? But it's like somebody that's done their time and it meant something, that goes a long way with people. And that goes a long way with me. It depends what they did. But I've known people that were like, yeah, I mean, I tattoo because that's pretty much the only job I can have and make this much because I don't have a choice with my record. And, a lot of them are like the biker dudes, the good ones anyway, the good ones that are more like family men, kind of like, but there's some of them, they're like, fuck it. And they're still doing shit. Their shop is a cover for some shit.
Oh, that's
Those
true.
are the ones I don't go to, but I do know that happens a lot.
No,
and especially if you live down here, it's pretty easy. There's a lot of stuff. But, well, not here, thank God, but near the cities and stuff and whatever. There's always going to be it's going to be easy to do some shit like that in bigger areas. But yeah, it's just, that's the other thing. These people think they're scary, tragic, nags. I've dated people scarier than them. Not now, because that's not what I'm doing, but fuck. They're not scary at all.
No,
I mean,
you can tell they're not, you know,
I
like
dated
they're, you know,
a crazy motherfucker. I dated a tattoo artist as an ex-con that had been in prison for 7 years. And that dude was scary. I mean, it was nice to have that level of scary around if you need it, but it's also not what you want long term. But anyways, that dude could pick Negs up like a freaking toy and hold him up by one hand and crush his skull with his hands.
yeah.
You could probably do the same to Tragic. The dude was like 6'5", fucking just, he was just very big, very strong. He was scary looking. He had all these tattoos. He was crazy looking. He would kill them motherfuckers. But I don't know. That was not a good long-term plan, but it was necessary and fun for the time being.
If he's a good tattoo artist, you know,
He was.
it's what it
I have
is.
some tattoos from him. They're good.
Oh yeah.
Fuck him and fuck him all the way. But he was good at tattooing.
I get it.
Oh, but like that's why when they're all trying to be all hard and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, Negs and Tragic. This is why they're bullies on the internet because AJ, we can't hear you if you're talking, girl. You might be on mute or something.
I don't know. I haven't heard her.
Her thing lit up. I haven't seen it light up, but it started lighting up.
I need to.
Oh shit! It's almost like it's 4 after 4 now, so
Yeah. It's getting late. I don't know what happened though.
She's a bad influence on me because I'm always going to sleep at a good time. And when I talk to her, this happens.
I don't know, she is easy to talk to.
Yeah. Cupcake, Monica, her, Russ. It's like a little ragtag group, but it's good. It's like AJ is really just, it's weird because for a long time, it's like I hadn't had anybody. It's almost like my handle was like a swear word or something, you know? And she's like, no, I'm cool with her. I'm good with her. And it feels nice because it's like obviously reciprocated, but it is nice that she's not a pussy. People are trying to call her weak. No, she's brave. She could say, no, I'm cool with this person in front of everybody. I don't give a shit about this and this. Like, there are people that seem tougher, like exterior wise or, reputation wise, and they couldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. And I have people that buckled under it, the pressure. And it's like, I'm a loyal person. If people don't fuck with me and they're good to me, I'm going to be loyal, even if they have controversies. I don't give a shit. If someone's consistent with me, why do I care to follow the herd? I don't care. That's what the GP shit happened. Oh, you got kicked? Oh, shit, I'm watching on the other thing. I'm watching on the freaking YouTube one. I didn't even see you got kicked. AJ's muted. Well, do we need to call it a night? Oh, my word. Jack got kicked. Why didn't I get kicked? Doesn't StreamYard end in like 8 hours? Does it like kick itself? All right. AJ, you better do your magic and disappear this shit for leaving. Oh, I see a private chat. I don't either. She's on mute. She's probably busy or something. Ugh. All right. Well, I guess we should. It's late. I should go to sleep anyways. AJ's muted, so she's either sleeping or she'll figure it out. But I do think StreamYards does end it after a bit, so it should automatically end. AJ, come back in private this shit. Yeah. Well, that's why I'm like, she should probably yeet this before she goes to bed, you know? I wouldn't even be offended. Yeet us in mid-talk. All right, I'm getting out.